Hello, 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 and welcome back. It is Yo Ange with Strange Conversations. Welcome back, everybody. It is episode 4. We are on episode 4, and today on Strange Conversations, we're going to be talking about tourists. Who are these tourists, and are they good? Are they bad? Are you a tourist? Let's talk about it on Strange Conversation. Here on today, we're going to have a little chat about tourists. Who's a tourist? Do we like tourists? Are they good? Are they bad? Are they just what they call unnecessary evil? Come on, guys. Let's think about this. We are all tourists. At some point in our life, we're a tourist. Let's think about that. Unless you have never traveled outside of where you live and you don't ever plan on traveling anywhere beyond where you live, you yourself have been a tourist. Now, we all know that when we leave and we go on a trip someplace, everybody loves to go on a trip. I love to go on a trip. We're going for the unexpected. We're going to get away. We're going to leave our mundane, everyday life behind. And I'm not saying we're all boring, but you know what? Regardless of what you do, you could be an A-list actor and everything else, but your job and whatever you do in your day-to-day life becomes a little bit mundane. So we're looking to get away, to have some fun, to have a new experience, to refresh, to relax. We're looking to do it all. I wrote some notes, so I'm going to be checking those out. But let me tell you, I like to travel. Now, there are times that I love to travel by plane. I will tell you, I do not like traveling by train. I have tried it. Don't do it. I'm not a fan. If you guys have traveled by train and you like it, leave me a comment. Tell me why. Tell me where. Now, I've never traveled by train abroad. I've only done it here in the U.S. And I'm going to tell you, the U.S. travel Amtrak, you need to get your stuff together because that's a damn mess. That's a nightmare I have never experienced and never will ever experience again. Never doing it again. But plane I have, I have, taxi, whatever, all that stuff I have. I've traveled abroad. I have traveled by ferry, as you guys all know. I've even traveled by ferry and stuff like that when I've been abroad. So let's get into it. Let's talk about travel and talk about tourists and what they are here in New York City, what they mean, because New York City is the biggest city in the United States. I swear to God, it is. It is the most, it's the most compact and the most populated city. For the size of New York City, the amount of people that we have here, it's enormous. It's like I sit there and think that my neighborhood, not my city, my neighborhood probably has, I can't even explain it. Maybe like, I don't know, 50 times more of a population than the city I lived in back in Minnesota. Think about that. That's my neighborhood, the Upper West Side. Compare that to where I lived in Minnesota of White Bear Lake. I think White Bear Lake's population is like 24,000. And then I moved to a city that has, I can't even tell you how many million people here. But it makes for a different experience. And what I'm trying to say is that when people come from away, anywhere, it could be from England, it could be from Spain, it could be from wherever, it could be from Minnesota, it could be from California, it could be from anywhere else, and you come into New York City, there are things that you will not expect to experience. There are things that will be completely different. Some good, some bad. A lot of people say that New Yorkers are rude. I'm going to say we're not rude. We may come off as rude. And yes, I'm going to say I'm a New Yorker. I've lived here for a decade. We may come off as rude because we're very short and succinct to the point. We will say something and it might be like, oh my God, they were so rude. No, we're not rude. We want to get to the point. We want to help you and then move along. because we all have places to go and stuff like that. So I don't think we're necessarily rude. We're just very straightforward. And we will definitely always help you with directions. Just please listen to what we're saying. We're not going to say it may come out as like the Charlie Brown when you're sitting there and you hear the teacher and it goes wah 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 wah. That's what it might sound like. I mean, that's kind of how the subways sound like when you're in there. But definitely you can ask a New Yorker for directions. In fact, you can always ask and state the wrong directions out loud, and then a New Yorker will correct you and say, no, this is the way to get there. I can't tell you how many times I have helped people on the streets during a live stream. In fact, I just stop and I help people because they look lost. They look lost and they don't know where to go. And I can see that they're confused. And I'm like, what train are you looking for? Where are you looking to go to? Because if they're about to get on to go to the Bronx when they need to go to Brooklyn. It happens all the time. But anyway, let's get down to it. Okay. Like I said, I feel like tourists are given a bad reputation. And honestly, when you think about it, I don't know why. Um, let's see. Now I'm not speaking to those that travel. Yeah. And by the way, I'm not talking about those who travel, tourists that travel to destinations such as Disney World or Disneyland. And I know a lot of people love going to Disney World, and that's wonderful, but that's not really a tourist. Everybody that goes to Disney World is a tourist. You guys are all in the same spot. Like it's like every tourist from everywhere. Nobody lives at Disney World. Okay, so everybody that goes there, you are a tourist. It doesn't make a difference. So everybody is in the same pot. You're on the same mix. What I'm speaking of is when you're going to a city, going abroad, going somewhere where you don't live, but you're going someplace where people do live. So either that's, I don't care if that's Venice, I don't care if that's New York, I don't care if it's, someplace, if it's Hong Kong or whatever. I don't care if it's White Bear Lake, Minnesota. If you don't live there and you're visiting, you're a tourist. Okay. So there we go. Definition done. And even if you're cruising, yes, you're on a cruise, and most people that are on a cruise, everybody on that cruise is a tourist, but those destinations that you are visiting while on the cruise, if you get off that ship, you're a tourist, okay? So I always say one thing I do when I am traveling is I try to find out what local, I don't want to say customs, but I guess you could say local custom, local vibe, whatever it is. How are they? You know what I mean? So that you don't necessarily act inappropriate. Okay? Like some places you're going to go to, people have different customs. Like if you traveled over into Europe, they don't tip. Their waiters and stuff are paid a living wage. Here in the United States, tipping is very customary. And I will tell you something, even within the United States, different cities, different regions tip differently. I could say that if you lived in small town America, you may not tip as much. And the reason why is because people they don't have the expenses aren't as high. And, I feel like that's what happens. And then when people from away, from somewhere else, come to New York City, they're always flabbergasted at what people want for a tip. Now, here's the thing. The people that work here in New York, I'm going to tell you, they work hard. The person delivering your food is biking to your location probably. Even if it's on an electric bike and an e-bike, he's rushing around. He's running up those stairs because if your elevator's up or you live in a four foot, 4-flight walk up, he's hoofing it up those stairs to bring you your bagel and coffee. So yes, we do tip. Normal tipping here, 20%. I'm just going to tell you right out. It's 20%. You can, I guess, if you want to tip less, you can. It's up to you. It's a very personal thing. But that's what we usually do. Now, local places that we always go to, and I know it's the waiter and I've seen him a million times and he knows my order, I usually give him more. We usually do 25% or something like that, just to give him something extra. And plus, if it's at a local diner, I'm not paying an exorbitant amount for food. and the food is always good, yes, I'm going to give him a nice tip. Now, do I know if they pull their tips and stuff like that? I don't know. I'm pretty much sure that when you are in those situations, they pull the tips a little bit, or they take the tips and the guys tip out people who work underneath him, like the bus boy and all of that stuff, just because they help make his job easier. Now, what I want to know is how and when do you guys like to travel? Where do you guys like to travel? Leave me a comment. You know, I will I will fly if the travel location destination is like 6+ hours away. That's usually, how it goes. Only exceptions to that is if we are traveling back home to visit family. And by that, I mean back to Michigan. That's where a lot of our family does live. If I am traveling to Michigan, the reason why we will probably drive is because we are going to be needing our car. And for me, it's just easier for us to drive the 10 hours or whatever it is to get to Michigan. And then we have our car and all of the stuff. And a lot of times, if we're coming back from Michigan, we will have gifts and things and who knows what's it's that we're bringing with us. So for us, it's just easier to drive. We don't make that trip very often, but when we do, definitely, that would probably be the only exception. Or if we were going up the coast to Maine, something like that. But I'll guarantee you, if it's a 6-hour drive, if that's how far away it is from where we live, we're driving. I'm not getting on a plane. Can you imagine? The problem I have with flights is that you're going to have to get to the plane 2 hours before your plane leaves. All right, so we just added 2 hours into whatever the flight time is. And let's just say the flight time is going to be 2 hours. Because within 6 hours, it's probably going to take you 2 hours to fly. So now you're at 4 hours. Now, once you get to your destination, now you got to go get your luggage, or you got to get yourself situated. You got to get the plane and all of that stuff. That's another hour. You're at 5 hours. What the hell are you paying for? Because by the time you leave the airport, you're going to have to pay for a taxi, Uber, unless you're one of the lucky ones who has a friend there that's picking you up. That's what you're going to have to pay for. And let's not say, and if you have to rent a car, well, then that's a whole nother thing. You've already just forget it. Now, if I was flying someplace like California, Las Vegas, any of that, yes, I'm not driving. That is literally across country. The farthest I've done across country was from Minnesota to California. That was far. That was really, really, really far. It was a long trip. It felt like it was never going to end. Going on a long trip like that, on a road trip, is fun. When you're on and you're going to the destination, it's a bowl of laughs. Everybody's excited. Everything's packed neatly. We feel like we're in control. We got our playlist of songs to go. The car is clean. We got a full load of snacks, beverages. We know where we're going to stay. We're excited. That's how it goes on a road trip. And then you get to the destination, you're good, you unpack, you have fun. The biggest part on a road trip is the coming back. Vacation's over. Now you're under the gun. You spent all your money, so you're broke. You ate all the snacks, so you didn't replenish when you were there and stuff like that. The luggage, forget about it. Everything was just thrown back in. It is not in any order. We know this. We have no more clean clothes. So we can't even say that's clean unless you guys were like A-list travelers and you guys know and you guys travel so much that you did your damn laundry while you were there. Yeah, it's a mess. Coming back, the car is packed like hell. It's just a shambles. Joe does his best. He does his best for it. But I'm going to tell you, it always is coming back. You just want to get home so that you can unpack your bag, take a shower, and then lie in your own bed. Because we all love the travel. We all love getting away. But road trips of that extensive thing, to me, is just, I don't know. It's like maybe once every 5 years. That's what I would say. Once every 5 years, maybe once every 5 years, we'll do something like that. We get it in our be in our bond. Now, I would love to travel and actually travel with like one of those travel vans and see how that is. Because you guys know I've always talked about it. I would love to get like what I call the YO Ang van, just because it would be nice to have a table and a setup and all of that stuff in a van where I could get back, we could sit, have the air conditioner on or have the windows open and actually sit in some place and not feel like I'm in using the dash as a, you know, as a table. I would love that. Joe used to have a van back in the day and I kind of miss it. I kind of miss it now that we're older and stuff. I think it could be fun. He's not buying what I'm selling, but I'm going to work on him. We're going to have to work on him for that one. So anyway, so let me ask you guys on packing, like I was mentioning the packing. What kind of packer are you? What kind of traveler are you in that regards? For me, I pack strategically. I pack with intention. Um, I like to pack everything within small compartments, such as this is all my hair care, which I don't bring much, guys. Like hair care, makeup, all stuff. I try to get it in one bag. I don't want a lot because me taking full bottles of things is absolutely ridiculous. How long are you going for? Are you going for a month? Are you going for a month and a half? I mean, are you really going to go through the entire bottle of shampoo? I don't think so. So things that I will pack will be, now I have to pack conditioner because as we all know, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but I have. Before, when you would travel, every hotel room would have shampoo, conditioner, body soap, usually the hand soap, and sometimes lotion. Okay. So you always had shampoo and conditioner. All of a sudden, there's no conditioner. What is going on? This is a conspiracy to make us all have shitty hair. That's all I'm going to say. I know I swore, but I don't care. We're all going to have crap hair because nobody's got conditioner. You've just now stripped every oil out of my hair, but we're not putting anything back. I need my conditioner. So now I actually have to pack conditioner. But things that I will pack intentionally are the hair products, like the conditioner I said. I pack all of my makeup, which is very minimal. And I actually will limit like brushes and things like that. So I have it. Things I do with my hair, I will keep it very simple when I'm traveling. There's no need for me to go crazy. Yeah, we don't need it. We're not going to go bananas. I'm going to pack a couple of this, a couple of that. That's it. We're going to try to keep it to one bag. That's very helpful. And then within that, I have another bag. I put the bag in, which holds every other miscellaneous thing from antiperspirant, you know, all of that stuff, lotions, potions, and whatever. Things I do pack when I'm traveling because I like to feel this every so often. I will pack some what I call me time products, like those pampering products. Like maybe I'll pick up a few face masks because it's kind of nice. A bath bomb. I love to do that. And the reason why I'll do the bath bomb is, guys, my bathroom here is tiny. I do have a bath, but it's, I can't even explain to you guys. My bathroom is so tiny. You literally could put your feet in the tub while you're on the toilet and then brush your teeth in the sink. Just think about it. It's kind of bananas. It's very tight quarters in the bathroom. So the bathtub is about like maybe a half bathtub, if at that. It would fit a child. I don't even know how they call that a bathtub. But yeah, it's not like a luxuriating, I'm going to lay down in my big bathtub with my bath bomb fizzling all around me. Doesn't happen here. So if I'm going to a hotel and they have a bath, I'm going to use it. Now, I will tell you, I'm kind of sad that a lot of hotels are taking away the bath. I can't tell you. I've actually walked in and thought, oh my God, I got my bath bombs and everything. Walked into the bathroom and there's only a shower. Like, what am I supposed to do with this bath bomb that I just brought all the way from New York? Because, you went to the Lush store and everything smelled wonderful. And this one said it had sparkles and fizzles, and you want that so bad. And you're standing there looking at, yeah, it's a beautiful shower, but I can't take a bath. Like, baths now are a thing of luxury. I miss them. I miss them. I'd like to light some candles and have a little bath time. I guess I just have to research more. Do you guys find that annoying? I find it annoying. Okay. Other things I take: multiple shoes. I don't know about you guys, but I always bring multiple shoes and multiple types of shoes. Okay. I will always bring two kind of, like, people might call them athletic shoes, runners, whatever you want to call them. I wear Hoka's. That's the kind of shoe I wear. But I always bring two of those. I will bring a pair of sandals, always. A pair of, like, maybe trash sandals that are just like those flip flop ones. And then maybe a loafer or some other funky, kitschy kind of shoe. Yes, I know I've already listed like 5 different shoes. Here's the reason. When you're on vacation, everybody does things they don't normally do. What I found is that you tend to walk more. Now, living in New York, I don't know if I could walk any more than I do living in New York. But when I lived in the Midwest and we went on vacation specifically to New York, we found when we walked so much, like every single day, putting on the same pair of shoes killed your feet. I'm going to tell you the best secret that I ever found was that during the day, whatever you were doing, if you went back to the hotel or whatever, change your shoes. I don't care if it's putting on one pair of athletic shoes for another pair. Changing your shoe, maybe even changing your sock as well, is going to rejuvenate your feet. And the reason why is because your feet, your weight presses down in the shoe. Okay? It molds the shoe to your foot. After a while, it's not going to feel good. It's going to feel like there's no cushion underneath it. Change your shoes. You'll be surprised at how much it actually helps. Joe thought I was crazy until we went and we traveled to Europe. And part of it was that we were in Germany and we were in Italy and we were walking so much. And we would change our shoes and he would say, "Oh my God, my feet feel so much better." Just telling you, that's a little tip from me to you. Also, clothes. Now, as you know, I live in New York. And since moving to New York, I have changed my wardrobe. Yes, it is probably 90% black. Everybody in New York does this. Everybody who's from anywhere. You have other clothes, but you wear a lot of black because black is a neutral. You wear neutrals. Put it that way. Maybe it's not so much black, but it's neutrals. Yes, I have tans. I have other things, but it's all pretty much a neutral. And the reason why is because everything goes with everything. You don't have to think about it. It makes your life so much simpler. I never thought I'd be that person, but I am that person now. Pops of color are fabulous. You wear pop of color on your feet, in your bag, socks. I don't care. It could be a jacket. It could be anything. But the basic of it is blacks. And the reason why is because you always look good in black. If you spill something on yourself, you really don't see it. All you need is a lint roller to keep it nice and clean. Yeah, take the lint off. But black is the way to go. I always have a uniform. Things I'll pack is I'll definitely, depends if I'm going summer or winter, but will, definitely be some jeans, some shorts, if it's summer, a dress. Even on cruises, I pack dresses because you can get a dress. Like this little dress I'm wearing here is just a little tiny knit dress bought off Amazon. I'm going to tell you, I probably paid, I'm going to say $12. A simple black dress. Yes, that is a true thing. Simple black dress. Try it on before you leave. Try everything on before you leave to make sure it works, that you want it. And then you accessorize. That's what you do. If you need a little sweater, you need a little jacket, you need a skirt. I mean, a big, big, big scarf, that can double as everything. You'd be surprised how you can change how it looks. Shoes, always make sure that they're very nice shoes. Don't go walking around some trash shoes, please, guys. People look at your shoes. I know many people think they don't look at your shoes. Yes, we all look at your shoes, okay? Shoes make a person. That is a true statement. Now, jewelry, I always bring the simple stuff that I always wear, and that would just be a simple, earrings, very, very simple hoops and stuff. I don't wear a lot of other jewelry. Things I will wear, simple rings, maybe, necklaces. I'm very big on, and a few bracelets, but I don't bring tons. Might bring a couple statement pieces. That's about it. We don't need to go crazy, because are you really going to be wearing all that? No. Stop it. Stop it. If you didn't wear it now, like, that's the thing. When people start packing, they start packing crazy. All of a sudden the person rolls up, they got 2 big full luggages and a carry-on. You are not wearing that. If you haven't worn it in your everyday life, what makes you think you're going to wear it on the trip? Now, unless it's like a Hawaiian shirt, vintage, that you bought specifically for this Hawaiian trip that you're going to, and you're going to a luau, you're not wearing it. Okay? Just accept that fact. Now, here's the thing I always pack. I always pack Ziploc bags, because you never know when you're going to need them. And sometimes, like, lotions and potions can, like, leak. So those always go in a Ziploc bag, or some kind of bag where it's contained. I don't need all of my stuff to be covered in, banana boat suntan lotion or something, or sun bum after sun. I don't need that. I don't need everything in my entire luggage wet, creamy, and smelling of a coconut. No. Okay. And here's another tip too. Joe and I came up with this, and I don't know if we saw it somewhere or what, but what we've always done is we pack a dryer sheets in our luggage. Now, our luggage will sit up stored wherever it is, but there's always a dryer sheet in it. I think it's because it absorbs and neutralizes any kind of odors that luggage might get. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but you got dirty clothes that you're taking back. I don't know. You guys did not do laundry while you were on the cruise ship. Stop lying. Okay. So you're putting your dirty underwear and everything else in there that smells a little funky back in your luggage. Put a dryer sheet in there. Okay. It will help. There's nothing better than opening your luggage when you get to your destination and everything smells fresh. If you're traveling via plane, your luggage is going in other places that might have other smells. The dryer sheet really, really helps. Try it. You'll be surprised. All right. Now, like I said, I was talking about, how do you get to your destination? Train, plane, or automobile. I've already told you, anything 6 hours or less, we're driving for sure. Plane, I'm not a big fan, because, I won't go on Spirit Airline. They nickel and dime you. It makes me nuts. Air travel is not what it used to be. I've never experienced the air travel that people talk about back in the day. I've never experienced the back in the day. My whole thing is, we're all stuffed in a tiny compartment, a can, and my ass is touching each side of my seat. For those that can sit in a seat and you got extra space, kudos to you. But any of us normal people, sized people, our asses touch, each ass cheek is touching the other side of the seat. And in certain planes, like if you sit in certain areas and they have that actual wall, that not just an armrest, it's a wall between the seats. I'm going to tell you, before I lost like the 80 pounds or whatever it is, I actually had to sit sideways once, like tilted, because my ass wouldn't fit in between there. Now it does, but it's still a tight fit. I'm not a big fan of air travel. I just want to get to where I'm going. I don't want to fight with another passenger over space underneath my seat, where their luggage is up top. I do like traveling on certain airlines because, like, I feel like, is it Southwest? Is it Southwest Airlines? I think it's Southwest. I think their people are nice. I've never had a problem. Delta always gets me where I'm going to. I'm going to say, like, Spirit and those. I can't handle it. I call those naked airlines, because before you know it, they're going to start charging you because you're wearing clothes. Swear to God. Every time I've walked on, I've done a Spirit Airlines, and it's like, all right, to pick your seat, it's going to be a $20 charge. And then they go, okay, to pick your seat for the next leg is going to be a $20 charge. Here's the thing. You never got off the damn plane. You stopped, but you didn't get off. You were on the same damn plane. They just changed the damn number and acted like it was a new flight. And that's why I will never pick my seat for those flights, for those airlines, because they trick you. They trick you. It's ridiculous. And we won't even get into how much they're going to charge you for your luggage. I'm still really confused at how, when I travel every single time, guys, and it doesn't fail no matter what airline I'm on. I think it's like a conspiracy with Las Vegas Airport. Every time I travel to Las Vegas, my luggage could weigh. Going to Las Vegas, I have checked my luggage. Going to Las Vegas, it'll weigh, I don't know. What's the limit? Is it 40 pounds, 50 pounds? If it's 50 pounds, my luggage will weigh 49 pounds. Okay, it weighs 49 pounds. I'm going to Las Vegas. Now, let's think about this. All my toiletries are full. So I have all my conditioner, all of my makeup, all of my hair product. Everything is full. I might even have extra stuff. Okay, that's there. How is it when I buy nothing? I am bringing nothing extra back. I have used stuff. I might have even left things there because, I don't know, I had a snack packed in there. How is it that when I'm coming back, have bought nothing extra? In fact, I put stuff in my carry-on, like in my backpack. How is it that when I'm coming back, my bag is 5 pounds heavier? And now suddenly it's 55 pounds and you're going to charge me. I feel like we should get a weight on the luggage coming. I don't know. I don't know how that happens. Like, is everything heavier in Las Vegas? Did we gain 5 pounds? Did my luggage go eat something I didn't know? I would like to know that. I don't understand, but it is completely beyond me. I've always wondered that, and every single time it's happened. I always think one day it won't happen, but it happens every single time. So you guys let me know how you like to travel. I would like to know. Here's another question. Do you guys like to study where you're going, or do you not? Do you like to know everything you can possibly know, like where to eat, where to go, how to get there, key phrases if you're traveling abroad, or do you guys like to go blind and just see what happens? Like, think it'll all work out for the best. Me? I think you probably can guess how I am. I will find out everything I possibly can. I will make an itinerary. Yes, I do. I don't stick to it. I just like to make it. Like, I literally do a little planner for every trip I'm taking so I can feel like I'm in control. And it will be on my phone. I might even print out a few copies so that maybe Joe has one and I have one just somewhere so I can refer to it. But what is in that little planner is every place we will be staying, our flight numbers, contacts, things like that. In a way, I kind of do it because I don't know. What if I turn up? What if I'm disappeared? What if all of a sudden something happens and I'm disappeared? And the only thing they walk into my room and they find out, oh, here's her travel planner. This is what she was planning. Let's look there. Maybe they could find me. I mean, I do stuff like that. So yes, I'll have all of that. I'll have a packing list. So I try not to forget anything. I mean, by the time I've gone over the packing list, the 100th time, I pretty much didn't forget something, I hope. But I will research where the best deals are for certain things, especially if I'm going to Vegas. I will research what can we go do, where can we go eat, what do I want to see, what's new, things like that. Do you guys do that? I do it a lot. I research so much. It's like I've almost been there, and I'm hoping, I hope I don't ruin the trip because I do that. But I think when I do it, it's good. We have an idea, because honestly, my family, Joe and Josh, and even other people that are with us, are always I don't know what it is. They kind of look to me as like all of a sudden I'm the cruise director. I'm Julie. I'm Julie McCoy. And I'm going to tell you, okay, this is what we can do. Even when we travel down to Myrtle Beach, the whole fam went, okay? And I'm talking Joe's brothers and sisters and their families. We all went to Myrtle Beach. And everybody, really didn't have an idea of what they were going to do. They didn't really know very much. Me, of course, I've researched it to death. And then when we were down there, we were like, we want to see seafood. So Joe and I, our typical thing to do, Joe and I will get in the car, just like we do here in New York, and we will find something for us to go do. And we found the best little place to go have seafood. We went to Calabash because all I kept seeing was signs for Calabash seafood. And I'm like, what the hell is that? We found a place along the shore where they brought in fresh seafood. And then we texted the rest of our family and said, oh, it's about 40 minutes away or 30 minutes away. And they're like, I don't know. Before you know it, 45 minutes later, everybody's down there with us. They're like, this is so cute. I love it. Thanks for finding it. That's just kind of how we travel. Also, you know what? One of the best things to do when you're traveling, and I don't care if this is in the States or abroad, especially abroad, but still in the States, I love to do this. One of my favorite things to do, now, even though I don't like doing it here as a chore, I love to go to other places, grocery stores, because everybody doesn't have the same thing. And it kind of gives you a whole idea of what that area is like, what that region's known for. So if you go down south, you will see totally different kinds of food. Going to Hawaii, I loved going to the grocery stores. Going there, and they had all of the fresh fish, everything. It was so good. The damn poke bar, instead of like a hot bar or anything like that, or like, where you go get your deli foods, they had an entire poke bar. And poke is like the raw seafood salads and stuff. Oh my God, that was beautiful. I loved it. Loved it. When we went to Germany, when we went to Italy, we would go to the grocery stores because I wanted to see how they lived. See, when I travel, that's what I want to know. I want to know how the locals live there, how they like it, what's normal for them. And honestly, in a way, I feel like people kind of appreciate it. And think about this. Why am I buying the stuff like for snacks and things at like the expensive tourist areas? Everybody goes out to eat and stuff like that. But sometimes when you wake up, you just want a little snack. You might want some fruit, a little, I don't know, anything. Get it at the local grocery store. They have everything. It's a grocery store. People live there. Unless you're on a cruise ship or something like that, or in Walt Disney World, people are living there. Think like a local. Maybe that's what it is when I travel. I try to think like a local and basically experience that place that way. So now I want to say a few things, key things for people that are visiting New York City specifically. Because I understand coming from abroad somewhere else to New York City is a bit of a shock for your system. It is. It just is. And like when you come here, you're going to be, I don't want to say assaulted, but it's going to hit your senses in a big way. One, the noise. Yes, it's noisy. There's a lot of cars. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of action. And you can walk out the doors of the airport, and it's going to be right in your face. Bam. Right in your face. It's going to be busy. We're very crowded here. Just know that, okay? Nothing against you. It's just crowded. So that's why people are all in a rush. Here we do walk fast. And we don't even really realize that we do have different levels. If we're walking to the park and it's a Sunday morning and we want to get some coffee, we're not going to be fast on our feet. We're going to be faster than you probably. But for us, it's going to be a slow saunter. Okay. We're going to take it easy. Okay. But on a normal, Monday through Friday, or if we got to make a train we're walking fast. Okay. So if you guys, I'm not telling you to walk the same speed that we do. All I'm saying is stay to the right. Okay. Just think of it that way. Stay to the right. Think about it like we're on those walkways, like they're like escalators, but not escalators at the airport. We're the people that want to walk and we want to appear that we're walking fast. So that's how we always feel. So just think about it. When you're on one of those walkways at the airport, just stay to the right. That's all you got to do in New York, too. Stay to the right. I will say, do not stand in the middle of the sidewalk. This is for everybody visiting. We don't mind you, but don't stand in the middle of the sidewalk and look at your phone. Don't stand in the middle of the sidewalk and look up at a building. Just if you're going to stand, pull over. Think about it this like you're driving the car. You would never stop your car in traffic. You would pull over to the right side, stop, and then look. That's what you do when you walk. Pull over to the right. Just pull on over. Get out of the way of the people. Don't stand. If you stand on the corner, I can't protect you. That's all I'm going to say. I can't protect you. Don't stand there. Also, when you're walking along in New York City, do not walk 3 or 4 abreast on the sidewalk. This is not Sex in the City. This is not cute. You aren't in a scene from a movie. You are basically blocking the entire sidewalk. People are going to they're going to say words and you're just going to poof go into flames. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Don't. 2 people is the most. That's it. 2 people. Like anybody else, 2 people. The other 2 people are going to have to walk behind you. Okay. That's how it is. You cannot walk 3 people abroad. You can't. I don't care if you're mom, dad, and then you have a little kid. One of them's walking with the kid and the other one is behind. Accept it. Move along. Okay. I will say, one of the things you have to remember is Manhattan itself is a grid. I'm not speaking about any of the other boroughs. I'm not talking about Staten Island, Queens, Brooklyn, or the Bronx. I'm talking specifically about Manhattan because most of you are coming into Manhattan. It is a grid, okay? So what you're going to do is you have to remember that. Streets run east and west. Avenues run north and south. Streets are only about 200 feet apart. Avenues are probably like 800 feet apart. So think of that. So every avenue is about how far you would have to walk for every 4 streets. Okay. Think of it in terms of that. So when somebody says, it's a couple blocks this way, does he mean a couple avenues? Because if it's a couple avenues, that's going to take you a hell of a lot longer than if it's a couple streets. Just make sure you know that, because sometimes people can say, it's only 4 blocks. And they meant 4 avenues. Think about that. That's really far. That's like walking from 7th Avenue to 6th Avenue to 5th Avenue to 4th Avenue to 3rd. You've walked from the west to the east side. I don't know, but you're going to be tired. Okay. Best ways to get around, I've always said, are subways. I never took the subway when I visited here as a tourist. I was too frightened. I thought I'm going to get lost. I'm not going to know where I am. I'm never going to get back home. That kind of thing. You can do it easy if you're in Manhattan. You just have to familiarize yourself with the map of New York City. Understand that the Bronx is north and Brooklyn is south. Queens is all the way out there towards the east. Staten Island, you don't even have to worry about because subways don't go there. That's what you have to remember. Almost every single sign will tell you going this way or that way. And then think about it as the roads. If you are on the side of southbound traffic on the road and you enter the subway, that's the way that train's going, okay? If you're on the northbound side and you enter the subway, that's the way that train's going. Very easy. Just remember the Bronx is north and Brooklyn is south, and you can figure it out. And basically the numbered streets go from low on the south to high on the north. It's pretty simple. 125 is Harlem, and like 14th Street is downtown. Okay? You got it. Taxis and Ubers, You guys know how to get your taxis and Ubers. A taxi, you basically step out into the street. I'm not talking the middle, I'm talking the edge of the street. Step into the street. Don't be trying to hail the cab from the damn sidewalk. Okay? Because they ain't going to see you because they got all these parked cars and people walking by in the way. Got to step out into the street and raise your hand confidently. Okay? Do it. If the light is on, it means it's available. If it says off duty, it means it's not working. If the light is off, don't wave it down. It means it's got a fare. Okay? That's how that works. Now, is food expensive? Yes and no. If you want to go to restaurants every single day when you're here, it's going to be expensive. Are there cheaper restaurants? Yes, they are. I'm going to tell you, you're going to have to get to the ones that are off the beaten path. If you want to go to Olive Garden, do it. Is it going to be good? It's going to be Olive Garden. That's what it's going to be. Yes, we do have chain restaurants here. Yes, they are all over the place. We have the Hard Rock. We have all of those things. We got Bubba Gump. Yeah, we got McDonald's. Are you here for that? Think about that before you go do it. Now, here's another thing people forget about. You're in New York City. You can get everything and anything delivered to you. If you have just walked 36,000 steps, if you have walked 15 miles today and your dogs are barking, I don't know what the hell you are getting dressed to go out. Unless somebody else is buying dinner, you should see sitting home with your feet up, watching some TV with a face mask on, and you better be ordering a good pizza, ordering some good food. You could get anything ordered in. You could get, I don't know, Himalayan food delivered to your damn doorstep in your hotel room. All you got to do is go on Seamless. There's Uber Eats, Grubhub, and Seamless are the same thing. Those are the food delivery services. Start looking. You'll be surprised at how much will be delivered to you. And guess what? They don't really charge you like this crazy delivery fee that they do in other cities. It's bananas. When my niece arrived here and the morning she woke up, she was sleeping on my couch and I'm like, hey, you want a bagel? And she's like, yeah. I go, how do you like your coffee? And she tells me and I'm like, okay, just give me a sec. And she's like, what'd you do? I go, I just ordered a bagel and coffee for you. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, they will be here in 10 minutes. She was stunned. And now the girl, well, she lives here, so now she's got it down. Order in, people. Trust me. Okay. All right, guys. So now we're going to get to the part where we're going to talk about some of the funniest overheard and strangest conversations we have heard. These are specifically have to do with tourists. Are you ready? Buckle up. All right. One person says to another person, she's definitely not from the city. And then the other person asks, well, how do you know? First person says, well, she just Instagrammed a picture of Times Square with a caption that said, the city that never sleeps. Yeah, that's what people do. They do think that Times Square is New York. It is and it isn't. Times Square is like the postcard. Okay? Times Square is not even where everything happens. It doesn't happen there. It happens all over the city. Everything that's, for the garment district happens in the garment district. And that's not even open 24/7, FYI. But people are working 24/7. That's the part of the never sleeps. People are going to the clubs. People are going to the restaurants, the bars. People are doing things 24/7. But Times Square isn't it. That is basically there for the tourist to take a picture. Do I stream in Times Square? Yeah, because I know you guys like to see it. And it is kind of cool to look at. All the lights are twinkly. I don't know, shiny objects, right? Okay. This person says they were once asked while standing in Times Square from a tourist, where's Times Square? He just looked up, gestured vaguely, and said, welcome. Like, I think sometimes people think that Times Square is like this destination that's going to have like this ginormous sign, like, welcome to Times Square. It doesn't. Times Square is Times Square. It is a location. It's basically, they call it like, it's like Broadway. There's a lot of Broadway theaters down there. It's the bow tie district. It's identifiable. Like people see the red steps, the ball that drops, everything. That's Times Square, guys. Look around. If you're in the middle where there's a gabillion, flashy, you know, billboards and stuff happening, you're in Times Square. Unless you're in Tokyo, you're in Times Square. Okay. This person said, I once watched a woman berate a police officer who wouldn't tell her where the Big Apple was. And she said, the one the city got its name from? She was convinced there was a statue of a ginormous apple someplace. Now, guys, there is an apple, but it's not like the Big Apple. The city was not named after anything of an apple. That's what it's just called. Okay. It's slang. It's a term. We weren't named after some big apple. That's not how it goes. Okay. It's New York City. Stop it. Now, this was really funny. Now, Joe overheard this while we were waiting for the ferry. He overheard a couple of them. I'm going to tell you guys. This was a French couple, and we were at the Staten Island ferry, and they have bodegas and stuff and little stores right there, so you guys can get get a coffee. You actually can get a beer. You can get anything you want pretty much just before you get on the ferry. So it was a French couple standing there, and they said, we would like to play the lottery. How do we play the lottery? And the man behind the counter says, you want to play the lottery? And he's like, yes. And he goes, okay, well, how do we do it? And he goes, you buy a ticket here. And the couple says, okay, how much is it? And the man says, $2. It's $2. So the French couple are like, okay, so when is the drawing? And this is so typical New York. The man, I don't know. I don't know. The French couple, well, how do I know if I win? The man behind the counter, I don't know. I was like, stop. And then the French couple still say, okay, give me a winning ticket. And the man behind the counter goes, okay, here you go. I didn't care. Joe said he was laughing so hard when Joe told me this. I was cracking up. I'm like, that is so New York. I don't know. It's like, I don't want to answer your question. This is a stupid question. I'm not going to. We're not here to. Do you want a ticket? You want to give me your $2? Here's your ticket. Okay. I was dead. Okay. This, excuse me, it speaks to how New Yorkers will help people, like tourists. Okay. So this one is on a Bronx bound 1 train, my neighborhood. I'm not in the Bronx, but I have a 1 train over here. A tourist says, how many more stops until Brooklyn? Person says, you're going in the wrong direction, and this train doesn't go to Brooklyn. Where are you trying to go? And the tourist says, Brooklyn? I'm like, do you know how big Brooklyn is? You can't. So he says, okay, Brooklyn is very large. Do you know where in Brooklyn you need to go? The tourist, this is so typical tourist. Back to our hotel in Brooklyn. Yes, I know exactly where you're staying. Thank you. Some other guy, let me see your phone. And he grabs the phone back roughly and looks at the address. Bushwick. She wants to go to Bushwick. That's exactly how it would go. Multiple people practically in unison will get off this train at 72nd, get on a downtown 2 or 3 to the 14th Street, and then get the L. First check and make sure it says it's going to Brooklyn. That is exactly how it would go. Because New Yorkers are kind. We're not nice. Put it that way. We will help you get to where you're going. We will tell you how to get there. Please just listen. Just listen. And always make sure you double check where your subway's going. You could always just, understand Brooklyn is a city. It's a borough, okay? Brooklyn. Within the borough, there are many neighborhoods. That's what makes New York different. We're a city with we're a city with boroughs, which within the boroughs we have neighborhoods. It's like going down to village, like we're here, we're here, we're here. That's how it works. It's just what it is. Now, I saved the best one for last. This really did happen. This happened yesterday, and I was laughing. Before we even started the stream, I was laughing so hard. So, we get to Staten Island Ferry, and we missed the first ferry that we wanted to get on. We missed the 10 o'clock ferry, and I'm like, we just missed it. But that's okay. We'll just sit here, go to the bathroom. We'll chill out in the air conditioning, get our heads set for the live stream that was coming up. So Joe goes to the bathroom, and he's at what I call the trough, the urinal, whatever. I'm not a guy. Guys, I'm not a guy. And he's sitting there handling business. And he can overhear another gentleman who's in a stall behind closed doors. And he listens to he can hear the conversation. And the guy is saying things. He's saying, I would like to confirm my reservations for the 11 o'clock Staten Island ferry. Can you please confirm these for me? I would like to confirm my tickets. Joe said he started to laugh so hard, he almost missed the urinal. But I was dead. So he comes out. He is laughing so hard. Guys, there are no tickets for the Staten Island ferry. It is the one thing here in New York as transportation that is absolutely free. Like literally, you get a free boat ride. You come to New York, you can have a free boat ride as much as you want. You can get on the Staten Ferry and ride it all damn day if you want. It costs you nothing. There are actual signs inside the Staten Island Ferry terminal at Whitehall State. I'm not kidding. That actually say the Staten Island Ferry is free to all. It is literally like in bright lights. It says it. And this guy was in the stall because somebody had scammed him into buying tickets. Now, he said, the person hung up because the man kept hearing the man say, hello? Hello? It's like, dude, you've been scammed. They gave you a fake phone number for you to call if you have any problems with your tickets. And the best part is, I said, well, the 10:30 ferry's coming in. That's when we're getting on. He might as well wait for his 11 o'clock reservation because, why not? I'm dead. He had reservations for the 11 o'clock Staten Island ferry. He wanted to confirm those. Don't do that, guys. Please don't. Yeah, it's free for everybody. Okay. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope maybe it was a little bit helpful. When I travel, I do like to share my adventures. It's what I kind of do. I like to hear other people's adventures and stuff. The things you hear when you're traveling, the strange conversations, some of them are the most memorable. This one is very memorable. And Joe came running out of the bathroom. He couldn't wait to tell me. He was like, Angela, it was so damn funny. And I said, well, did you tell him anything? He goes, no, I got out of there. I didn't want to be stuck there. I thought he might get mad. I was dead. I was dead. But anyway, guys, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Please make sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell when I put up another podcast. I'm going to be doing these podcasts every Tuesday. That's my goal. This is episode number 4. And if you guys do like walks in and around New York City, make sure you subscribe because then you guys will find out when I'm going live again for Yo Ang. Until then, this is Yo Ang with Strange Conversations. We'll see you next time. Bye.